Oh my gosh, it's dark in the world and it's getting darker every day. I mean, I can't hardly even stand to watch TV anymore, to read the newspaper anymore. It's horrible. But what I have to keep in mind, and what we all have to keep in mind, is we have a promise of light from God. Okay. Think of the word light. There's a couple of different things that light means. It means light, like our light in the ceiling, right? Illumination, which has several different meanings. To make manifest, light can be happiness or cheerfulness. So we are going to start in Genesis chapter 1, and I'm going to read 3 through 5. Verses 3 through 5. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. Now, I encourage you, get your Bible and read these scriptures. It's Genesis chapter 1, verses 3 through 5. And something that you'll notice is, on that first day of creation, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, with a capital D. And the darkness he called night, with a capital N. This is referencing not so much light that we can see or darkness that keeps us from seeing. This is something else here. He has separated light from darkness, good from bad. Okay? And if you'll read those scriptures and notice, those two words are capitalized, day and night. That was day 1 of creation. All right, now same chapter of Genesis. Let's go down to verses 14 through 19. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth," and it was so. And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, that is not capitalized there, and the lesser light to rule the night, again not capitalized. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day, lowercase d, and over the night, lowercase n, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the 4th day. Think about this, okay? Day 1 of creation, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God divided the light from the darkness, and he called the light day, capital D, and the darkness he called night, capital N. That was on day 1 of creation. He did not create the sun, the moon, and the stars until day 4. And when he said he created the sun to rule the day, that was a lowercase d. That was actually talking about a day. And he created the moon to rule the night, lowercase n. He's actually talking about nighttime. So when we talk about our promise of light, it's spiritual light. And it's also having to do with our moods, what kind of loads we're bearing, what kind of pressure we're under. All these wonderful things are contained in this promise of light. Now, I said light can be, happiness, cheerfulness, light, illumination. The definitions for illumination are the provision of light to make something visible or bright, or the fact of being lit up. Right? To light something up, to turn on a light switch. The amount or strength of light available in a place or for a purpose. Another definition of illumination is the process of clarifying or explaining something. we don't understand something and someone explains it to us, we have been illuminated. Ah, I see. I see. And last definition is intellectual or spiritual enlightenment. So, think about this. When the power goes off, what's the first thing we look for? Flashlight, right? Flashlight, candle, lighter, something so we can see what's going on. That's the first thing we do when we're in darkness, when we're in complete and utter and total darkness because the power's gone off in the middle of the night. We want to find a light. All right. That's a no-brainer. We know that, right? So just remember this. Light destroys darkness. Whether you're speaking about spiritual things, God's light will always destroy spiritual darkness. Or whether you're speaking about actual physical light that we can see. You know, if you walk into a room and it's pitch black, it's dark in there, and you turn on the light switch, instantaneously, the light destroys the darkness. It's not that the light chases the darkness away. It's not that the darkness went and hid in a corner somewhere. Light literally destroys darkness. It's gone. It's obliterated. There is no darkness when the light is on. Okay? So remember, light destroys darkness. Alright. When we have a heavy spirit, like a sad or depressing spirit or mood, what do we do? Now, I asked this at church, and we took different examples of what we like to do when we're feeling down and maybe kind of blue or depressed, or we just have a heavy spirit. Have you ever done that? I mean, have you ever just felt heavy? We all have at some point. And, you know, we had a lot of fun with it. You might grab your favorite comfort food. You might turn on some music or pray. You know, just whatever we need to do to bring spiritual light to the spiritual darkness that's overtaken us. Because, even spiritually speaking, light destroys darkness. Okay? And if we are heavy, if I'm holding something heavy, I want you to take that out of my hands to make my load lighter, right? So, light destroys darkness. Light destroys heaviness. Okay. Now, if somebody plays a trick on you, what do you want besides revenge? The truth. We want, if somebody is playing a trick on us and they're trying to deceive us, we want the truth about the situation, right? Why? Why do we want the truth when we're being deceived? That's what will illuminate us. We will be illuminated to the situation. We will have illumination. Our eyes will be opened, okay? Light destroys darkness. Light destroys heaviness. And light destroys lies. And this doesn't have to be, horrible bad tricks. There for a while we were watching a magic show that would come on, each week. And they did a trick where they sawed the woman in half, okay? Had two of them. They had the woman on the table, sawed her in half, and split her in two. And I knew it wasn't real. But my eyes saw that woman get sawed in half, okay? I knew I was being deceived. It was for fun. But it really looked like they sawed her in half. Well, it just so happens that they came out later and showed how they did the trick. And once I saw exactly how I was being deceived, and I saw the truth, I was illuminated to that. I was no longer deceived by that. Does that make any sense? Light destroys darkness. Light destroys heaviness. And light destroys lies. All right. We have some scriptures here. And I don't know that we're going to go over all of them. The promise of light. Light is promised to the obedient, and that's in Psalm 97:11. To the upright, that's in Psalm 112:4. To the just, that's in Proverbs 4:18. To the benevolent, and that's in Isaiah 58:6-8. To the church of the future, that's in Isaiah 60:20. And each of those scriptures there, the word light in Hebrew is or. It's number 216. It means illumination or luminary in every sense, including lightning and happiness. Some words it's been translated into are bright, clear, day, light, and lighting. And we will go ahead and read Proverbs 4:18. That one is for light is promised to the just. Proverbs 4:18. But the path of the just is as the shining light, that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. We are justified by Jesus Christ. Therefore, our path, His promised, will shine more and more, brighter and brighter. It does not matter how dark the world gets. It does not matter how dark our circumstances seem. They may not be that dark. It may be a lie from the enemy, causing us to think that that's what we're seeing. But remember, light destroys lies too. All right, and then finally, light is promised to the followers of Christ. And that, let's go to John 8:12. John 8:12. Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. All right, that Greek word there for light is maor. Properly, a luminous body or luminary. That is, abstractly, light as an element. Figuratively, brightness. That is, cheerfulness, specifically a chandelier. Luminary, light, brightness, cheerfulness. Jesus Himself is the light of the world. That is any way that you could think of light. That's, spiritually, physically, as far as load bearing, it's light, okay? He's light. And He's promised us that same light. When we follow Him, we will not walk in darkness, but we shall have the light of life. That would be physical illumination, or that would be spiritual light, happiness, cheerfulness, joy, whatever. If it's light, it's Jesus, okay? The world is getting worse. Even, I would wager even unbelievers would have to admit that. It's just, darkness is growing. But if you have a candle, one single candle, and if I held it up in here, it probably wouldn't be all that bright, because I've got other light, right? But now if I would cut off my lamp over here, and if I would cut off my light back here, and it was not daytime, but it was night, the darker it would get in my kitchen, the brighter my candle would be. Do you see how that works? The darker it is, any light is going to be brighter, okay? Well, the world is getting darker, but we have Jesus in us, the light of the world in us. So the darker the world gets around us, the brighter we should shine. And we need to remember. And also, the Bible speaks about end times, and there's going to be a great deception. But remember, light destroys lies. So we don't really even have to worry about that too awfully much. But we need to remember to keep our eyes on Jesus, to pray that we would have all that enlightenment, especially when it comes to what the enemy's doing in the world, and that we would always have that light of Jesus in us, shining in the darkness. As it gets darker and darker, we will shine brighter and brighter. Let's just remember to pray for those things and for wisdom. God wants us to be wise. He doesn't want us to be deceived. And if we trust Him and try the spirits like it tells us to in His Word, we won't be. But that concludes today's study. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you. If you liked the video, please like it. If you know somebody maybe it would help, please share it. Connect with us online. You can find us at soulseekerministries.org or sonriserecords.com. That's sunrise with an O, S-O-N. We are on Facebook and Twitter, and be sure and subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot of things coming up. But anyway, I pray you have a blessed day, and go out and enjoy the light. Keep on keeping on for Jesus. God bless.